This week, we bought 10,000 units of party supplies, and we figured it's the perfect opportunity to talk about what liquidation is truly about and why these products come to us in the first place. So, if you're new to this channel, stay tuned because we're gonna teach you how to make some money with the most random crap in the world. All right, so behind me here, double stack is 26 pallets of party supplies. And truth be told, I know jack shit about party planning and party supplies, but I do know something about flipping, liquidating products. So the reason we are flipping party supplies is because that is a huge part of liquidation. Seasonal product gets liquidated all the time for very obvious reasons, right? It's out of season, it's out of stock, so people need to make space and liquidate it to liquidators like us. So behind me, you got 26 pallets of party supplies, all right? I don't know jack about party supplies. I don't know jack about balloons or streamers or anything like that. But you know what I do know? That the party supplies and decorations industry is $1 billion industry. AKA, there's some serious money to be made on these loads. Hence why we're gonna break it down for you guys and see what actually came in and how we're gonna be able to make money with it. I love double stacking loads. It saves on space. It's clean, keeps things organized. Let's get into it. It's a little bit different than what we usually do, right? Like I said, perfect opportunity to talk about what liquidation actually is. The technical definition of liquidation is the recovery of cash and space of stale goods. So if you have something that's not selling too hot, if you have something that's taking up space, you're going to call a liquidator so they can purchase it from you for pennies on the dollar. So items that could potentially be liquidated: returns, right? You don't want to put that back on the shelf. Shelf pulls is another category of liquidation, which is things that were on the shelf that are going to get pulled back off of them because the item is no longer sellable, right? It might be expired, might be out of date. It might be that the manufacturer chose a new product packaging and they want all of the old one gone, right? Or it could be seasonal. Seasonal is a huge part of liquidation that I often think gets overlooked. And I'm not sure why, because these loads really are a money maker to the right individual and customer, right? That's key. That's liquidation was all about, right? The reason why big companies call liquidators is because they don't have the customer base or the expertise to move this type of product in bulk and get it out there fast. And that's kind of where liquidators come in. Buy loads like this, which is a seasonal load. This is past season, right? And now it's worthless for a retailer that has all the brand new products coming in. Let's say this is 2022 graduation balloons. They're gonna have 2023 graduation balloons coming in, right? So they have no use for this stuff. But the job of a liquidator is to provide a service for that retailer so they can make space, they can recover that cash, they can move this stale product and bring in fresh product. So why are we here and why are we talking about seasonal? Because like I said, it is a huge part of the liquidation industry. Retailers need to rotate that product quickly, right? Think about the holiday season in October, November, and December. You have 3 to 5 major holidays that you're going to see at being a theme on the retailer shelves during those months. It first starts with Halloween, and then it goes to Thanksgiving, then it goes to Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all of those Christmassy holidays, and then it's January. And what happens then? That space needs to be freed up for the new holidays coming up. So let me paint you the bigger picture. What happens to the items after Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Halloween? They get boxed up, put on pallets, and shipped out because space needs to be made, because the selling season for those products is pretty much over until next year, right? Seasonal items sell pretty much exclusively during their hot season. That's why a lot of people deem them to be worthless, except people like me that are crazy and buy a load like this for $6,000, hoping that they're gonna turn it around and make some money with it, right? So I really wanna get into here because I wanna show you guys what's considered to be a seasonal item, right? You guys might be thinking Christmas trees or Christmas lights or pumpkins, right? A lot more goes into it, right? Because there's hundreds of holidays during the year. And if you think about, like, let's say like your local drugstore on the corner, they're selling stuff for Father's Day. They're selling stuff for Mother's Day. They're selling stuff for 4th of July. They're selling stuff for Columbus Day. There's always a holiday, right? The Hallmark, baby. Hallmark holidays is what sells seasonal items. So I'm going to drop a few of these pallets because they're double stacked right now so we can check out what's inside. All right, so we dropped the pallets. Like I said, love me a good double stack. It takes up the least amount of room and it fits a lot of product. But that being said, let's dive into these. Let's see these 4 pallets, what they're all about. One thing I can already point out is that each pallet is individually skewed, right? So that pallet is one thing, that pallet is one thing, this pallet is one thing, this pallet is another thing. They're all one SKU, right? Some people can call that case packed. I don't like to call it case packed because I don't think these are directly coming from the facilities. I do think these are more shelf pull items, but I could be wrong. Let's dive into it. Like I said, I haven't even cracked these, so just kidding. This one's cracked. KK must have gotten into it. We got this load like a week ago, you know, we just haven't had the time to get into it. But like I said, the minute it came in, we kind of, a light bulb moment went off. It's like, this is a perfect opportunity to really showcase what liquidation is all about, right? Because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's not all unboxing Amazon returns and finding really nice high-end electronics or finding, you know, monitors or whatever it might be that people get excited about. I would say a huge part of liquidation is seasonal items that literally expire on the retailer shelves and you can buy them for pennies on the dollar, right? And I already gave away the first item, damn it. This whole pallet is balloons, but it's another lesson for you. There's thousands of different balloons, right? And they're gonna be all worth something else. So these are pretty standard. Balloon kit, eat, sleep, game, repeat, storm the party, let's bounce, battle royale. This is a 3-year-old to a 15-year-old's birthday party balloon package. Fortnite themed, video game themed, right? It's a balloon kit for a young man in your life that would like to have a Fortnite themed party. But what's great about these is these are case packed, they're pretty clean, they're all individually skewed. So let's continue to see if my theory is correct here, but I think same balloons, same balloons, same balloons. So seasonal pallets and loads could be a major hit or miss solely based on the fact that dates, right? Dates are huge. If you have a 2019 Happy New Year balloon package, that's gonna be a very tough sell. I don't care how good of a liquidator or a reseller or seller you are, it's just not gonna go over very well. It's probably best used like if you donated to like some sort of a non-for-profit to maybe use for a party or things of that nature, right? Or like an arts and crafts type of deal, right? But see, even with that, I was able to come up with 2 different use cases that a 2019 Happy New Year balloon could be used for, right? So nobody gets too excited about balloons unless you're 3 years old and watching, then hit that subscribe button. But let's go check out the next pallet. Ooh, party bags. Let's see. Decorations. Happy birthday to the man, the myth, the legend. All right, this is timeless, right? You can use this at any given year, any given point. Doesn't matter what the date is. It's still somebody's birthday who's a man, the myth, the legend. There's no years on it. There's no sort of stipulation on what season this is for. It's just a plain old decoration. This is what I call a hit pallet. So now you may ask, Damien, who's gonna buy a ton of happy birthday signs? I don't even know how to count this at this point. 6 each at 4 times 24. So 24 per case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 10 is 50. 50 times 24 is, I think that's 1,200. Don't quote me. If I am right, make sure to clap it up in the comments. If I'm wrong, shut your mouth. Actually, that's another great learning. Learn how to read these labels, guys. Whenever you're buying like return pallets or just any sort of pallets, right? You need to know how to read these case pack labels. Because if you're spotting a pallet, let's say it's a case pack pallet, a brand new product, and you can quickly read the label where it says 6 packages of 4 units in each, equals 24 per box. How many boxes do I have in each row? How many boxes do I have in each column? Multiply that out and you'll get your exact unit count. So if this is 500 bucks divided by 1,200 pieces, do the unit count math and you're gonna be looking very good. Sounds to me like you're under 50 cents a unit, right? You can do math like that pretty efficiently and quickly while you're shopping for pallets, while you're making your purchasing decisions. You're gonna go a very long way in this industry because that's all that matters, guys. A smart man once told me, all the money is made on the buy. AKA, if you bought this for $2 a unit, you'd be screwed. If you buy this at 25 cents a unit, even if there is 2019 Happy New Year balloons, you're still going to be able to make some money just because based off the value and the piece count of that load. If you can't do math in your head quickly, don't worry, you can always pause this video, whip out your phone, and do the calculator on your phone. But let's keep going because there's a lot of pallets. There's 26 of them. And like I said, all of them are skewed up and they're all going to be something different. So craft, kit, retro, rainbow. All right, 12 each times 4 equals 48. 48 times 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 3. See? Boom, you gotta catch this. This layer is not the same as the other layers. These layers are 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8, 8 plus 4, 20. Times 48. It's like 1,000 something. Close enough. I'm not gonna pause the video and do the math, Conrad. I gotta do it in my head. I'm an accountant by training, damn it. All right, yeah, so let's crack this. Jokes aside. Let's see what the rainbow craft kits are all about. Sounds to me like it'd be a party KK would be having for his birthday. Remember when we read the case pack tag, there's 48 units per big box. Huh, and I was right. This is exactly what KK would be having at his birthday parties. Well, and that mother trucker's on vacation, so I can roast him all I want. All right, 4 cardboard pieces, 160 pom-pom balls. Great. Seems like a quality product. It's case packed, it's clean, it's not a return, they're not ripped, they're retail packaging. Great question. What is retail packaging? Can this product go on the shelf? Look at that. It even has the cut hole out for the thing, right? That's considered retail packaging. It's colorful, it's bagged up, it's pieced out into a point where any retailer can take this, plop it up on their shelf, and be good with it. So that's what's on that pallet. Let's continue. Forever Heart Pin Art Assistant. That's kind of my guess on this tag. It's 48 pieces per case. So this is a case, and you know what? I stand corrected. I would consider this a case pack load now that I'm looking through it. But see, that's what it is. Like, you have to get your hands dirty. You have to dive into it. You can't just assume all these things, take information for granted, right? Especially be careful with what brokers tell you, because one interpretation of a case pack might be different than somebody else's, right? Pin art, okay. This is cool. This can be considered a toy, heart shape, to create 3D art. Yeah, it's cool. It's a small product. Guys, these are what I consider either impulse buys or a little dollar section buys, right? If you're a retailer, what's stopping you from investing 25 cents a unit and selling this product for $1? You're making ×4 your money. It's gonna take almost virtually zero labor because this is already all boom, 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 boom. It's all the same thing. You know this one pallet is gonna be priced the same thing. You just put it up on some pegs and you run with it, right? All right, so far we opened up 4 pallets, and what are some takeaways from that? 1 single SKU per pallet. That's a win, I would say, especially when you're dealing with party supplies, when the piece count is so many and the volume is cheap. So another takeaway, none of this stuff is very seasonal, aka it ain't Christmas, it's not 2022 New Year's, it's not 4th of July and yada yada, right? It is very basic party decorations that could be used for birthday parties, for Christmas parties, for literally any sort of party and decoration situation. These products are good for it, which is awesome, because that means that our buying pool just got bigger, right? So I don't want to keep cracking the whole load because that's going to take forever, and there's 26 pallets, but let's read the tags and get a little more familiar with this product. So that pallet is massive, completely massive. That is 10 times bigger than all the other ones. So I'm 6'7", and I'm just kidding, I'm 6'1", and this pallet I can barely reach over, so I would assume it's like a 7 foot. And that's another big plus of these loads, is that the piece count is amazing, right? You just gotta be able to move one-off products like this. All right, so Conrad is asking me, do I have any advice for maybe smaller resellers or smaller retailers that probably don't want a full truckload like this, right? Like, how do you make money with seasonal products? How do you make money off liquidated decorations? It's pretty simple, guys. Find a mom and pop shop, go into their store after a specific holiday, right? Let's say 4th of July just passed. I guarantee you that that small corner store in your neighborhood had a bunch of 4th of July t-shirts, or maybe some flags or something along those lines, or party plates, blah, 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 blah. They're gonna wanna free up that shelf space. And they probably already made their money on that product regardless, so they just want it gone. Get it out. We're a small mom and pop shop. We don't have the space to hoard this 4th of July stuff till next year, right? And that's where somebody like you comes in. You pull up to a mom and pop shop, you ask them if they have any seasonal items they wanna get rid of. Maybe Easter just passed. It's a week or day after. I would do it literally the day of or after to leave your name and number there. You buy that product the day after the holiday. You figure out a cheap way to store it, and then you come back to the same mom and pop shops a year later to try and upsell it. I mean, you might only make a quarter or so, but it's gonna work because they're gonna need that product regardless. I think also like a big resale tip, and I guess word of advice for anybody looking to get into reselling, is this is a niche. And I've always talked about niche products are good, but like it's got to be your niche, right? So if you're not an expert in seasonal, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder to move this stuff if you are an expert in seasonal, right? But now imagine this. If you are the expert, then you're the guy that people trying to liquidate the product are calling, and the people that are trying to buy seasonal product are also calling, right? So niching down and finding that one niche that you just get really damn good at is the answer here, right? So that's another takeaway that I think is worthwhile to write down, because there's money to be made on everything, and all of this product is really, really, really cheap to produce and make. And that's why you can get it liquidated for 5% of retail. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something new, drop a comment, drop a like, share the love, and of course subscribe, because we're trying to grow this channel and you're gonna help us. Thank you.
Nice find, a place to find something nice every time.